Blink-182's newest album, One More Time, has finally released. It's been quite a journey from when the album was first announced last October to now finally being able to hear it in its entirety for the first time and for the rest of time. I wanted to share my thoughts on the highly anticipated album, starting song by song before talking about the album as a whole. These are just my personal feelings, opinions, and thoughts, and my intentions are not to pander to or offend anyone with them. I'll also make multiple comparisons to previous Blink-182 albums. While I'm not ready to rank this album with their previous ones, I couldn't help but want to make connections and point out similarities to what came before anyway. I hope you enjoy nonetheless. The opener of One More Time and the long-awaited follow-up to Anthem Part 2. Anthem Part 3 was the song I most anticipated from this album. While I like it and think it's a fun and enjoyable song, I didn't love it as much as I had hoped I would, and I'm slightly disappointed by it. The sound reminds me of both the Untitled and Neighborhoods albums, more so the former. I actually preferred Mark's vocals in this song over Tom's. I give it 7 out of 10 points. Dance With Me is one of the most fun-sounding and upbeat songs on this album, even with such simple lyrics. It's very reminiscent of old school Blink, and Tom's voice even matches this classic sound. I give it 8.5 out of 10 points. Fell in Love continues the poppy Blink sound from the California and 9 albums, featuring a very simplistic yet egregious upbeat pop tune with matching lyrics. The lyrics feel like typical Blink, while the sound further strays from punk towards pop. Tom also sounds very auto-tuned in this song. I think it's one of the weaker tracks on the album, but I don't necessarily dislike it and have to admit it's catchy as hell. I give it 6 out of 10 points. Terrified was originally an unused boxcar racer song that Mark graciously agreed to repurpose for this album, and I'm thankful he did. The opening riff and chorus remind me of Linkin Park of all things, which I love. I dislike how much slower and softer the verses are compared to the rest of the track, and they sound like they could fit in with Neighborhoods, while the instrumentals and chorus could fit in with the Untitled album. There aren't too many lyrics in this song, which is fine because the song as a whole sounds so good, even the distortion at the end. I give it 8 out of 10 points. I love how different and slow One More Time sounds and feels compared to the rest of the album while still fitting in perfectly. It's an emotionally gripping and hauntingly beautiful melody that encapsulates the brotherhood between Mark, Tom, and Travis. My only complaints are that Tom sounds too auto-tuned in the middle verse and the ending being a bit too abrupt. I also think this track should have been the first or second song of the album, and maybe should have been saved as a post-album release single. I give it 8 out of 10 points. More Than You Know could be put on the Untitled album, and it would fit right in with the rest of that album's tracklist, especially with the bridge sounding eerily similar to Violence's. Between the relatable lyrics and the pseudo-underground grunge angst sound, this is one of the better tracks on the album. I give it 8.5 out of 10 points. Turn This Off is a classic Blink joke song that was funny while being simple and fast. I don't know if it fits in with the rest of the album, but I think that makes it even better. I give it 7.5 out of 10 points. When We Were Young is a simple sound with classic Blink lyrics that could fit in with both Enema of the State and California. Aside from a very minor similarity to the opening line to When I Was Young, this could be a summer party anthem song. I like the riffs and drumming, but it's one of my least favorite tracks on this album. I give it 6.5 out of 10 points. I know there are many people who've grown tired of this song or don't think it's very good, but I still love Edging. Wait, that's not what I meant. It's a great song to hype the reunion, and I think it still holds up. It's not revolutionary, but doesn't need to be because it's fun even with its simplicity. It does sound somewhat out of place on the album because I've listened to it so much, so I wonder if it maybe should have been shuffled elsewhere on the album other than in the middle. I give it 8.5 out of 10 points. The lyrics are good, and I appreciate Mark's delivery throughout You Don't Know What You've Got. I dislike the modified reuse of Bored to Death's riff, as well as the chorus being mostly repetitive, but the latter doesn't bother me too much because of the song's meaning. I give it 7 out of 10 points. I love how not Blink and unique Blink Wave sounds, even though the lyrics are very Blink. This song is a retro synth sound that is inspired by Angels and Airwaves and also sounds like it could be on Neighborhoods or Dogs Eating Dogs. The compression on the verses is a bit too much, especially for Tom though. I give it 8 out of 10 points. Bad News has that familiar Skiba era Blink sound. I like that, although I like the lyrics better and would have preferred if the entire song continued the sound from the opening verse. I give it 7 out of 10 points. I thought Hurt was just going to be an all-instrumental interlude track, so I was surprised to hear vocals on it. It's simple but also very otherworldly with Neighborhoods and Angels and Airwaves inspiration, also Up All Night vibes. I think it's good as an interlude. I give it 7 out of 10 points. Despite being inconsistent with the pronunciation of the word turpentine throughout the song, whether intentionally or not, I'm intrigued by the sound presented in Turpentine, and wonder if this could inspire future Blink songs. I like its uniqueness, but I don't love it entirely. I give it 7.5 out of 10 points. Fuckface is a simple yet aggressive and distorted punk sound. It was a treat to hear Travis on this track, especially because this was entirely his baby for an unrelated Blink project. Again, I don't know if it fits in with the rest of the album, but I like it anyway. I give it 7.5 out of 10 points. Other Side sounds to me like the love child of First Date and She's Out of Her Mind, but with its own unrelated theme. It's good, but not among my favorites. I give it 7 out of 10 points. The closer for One More Time. Childhood is a mixture of Blink's recent sound as well as something totally new. It features very intimate lyrics and a theme that I appreciate, but I don't vibe with the sound and think the chorus vocals are a bit difficult to hear over the instruments. The chiptune sounds at the end were cool and unique. Sadly, this might be one of my least favorite tracks of the album. I give it 6.5 out of 10 points. My personal ranking of One More Time's tracklist from least favorite to most favorite would be Childhood as my least favorite at 17th, Fell in Love at 16th, When We Were Young at 15th, Other Side at 14th, You Don't Know What You've Got at 13th, Bad News at 12th, Hurt Interlude at 11th, Fuckface at 10th, Anthem Part 3 at 9th, Turn This Off at 8th, Turpentine at 7th, Blink Wave at 6th, Terrified at 5th, One More Time at 4th, More Than You Know at 3rd, Dance With Me at 2nd, and Edging is my most favorite in 1st. The last 5 songs aren't necessarily my cup of tea and may not become part of my favorite songs playlist, but I still think they're decent songs. I also acknowledge that I'm biased from hearing the pre-release singles so many times. I really tried to overcome this to be fair to the entire album, but it definitely bled into my overall thoughts anyways. I'm sorry? After first listening to the album, I wasn't blown away by it, but I enjoyed the experience nonetheless. It's a good and fun mix of familiar Blink and related sounds, as well as new and experimental ones that seemed to mostly deliver. There were a couple songs that gave me Linkin Park vibes too, which was weird but delightful. I felt a bit disappointed at times, and there are a few songs I'll probably skip over after more listenings, but I really did enjoy listening to this album. I love how different each song sounds from one another, as well as the variety of different sounds there are. It was great to hear Tom again on a Blink album. His inclusion feels so natural, almost as if he never left again. Mark sounds very good, especially considering he essentially had to retrain his vocal cords after going through chemotherapy, to put it mildly. And of course, Travis absolutely put his heart into creating this album. I also want to listen to the album a few more times to really let the new sounds get ingrained in my brain before fully comparing them to all that's come before. Overall, I think One More Time is a damn good Blink-182 album that was worth the wait and may possibly even be their best since the Untitled album, although I enjoy Neighborhoods in California. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10 points or a solid B grade. I'm very grateful and appreciative that there's a new Blink-182 album featuring Mark, Tom, and Travis after everything they've been through. Thanks for listening to me share my thoughts on One More Time. Now that I've rambled long enough, I'd love to hear what you thought about the album too. What are your favorite and least favorite songs? Was it worth the wait to you? You may not agree with my opinions, and that's totally fine. I'm curious to hear your opinions and compare our thoughts. Of course, everyone should be allowed to voice their opinions, praises, and criticisms, so long as they do so fairly and respectfully. Please don't attack me or anyone else or be disrespectful. It's one thing to disagree with or respectfully criticize someone's opinions, but it's another thing to blatantly attack or insult them. We gotta spread love, positivity, and friendliness wherever and whenever we can. Thank you for watching the video. Please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed it. I may make a video soon talking about my experience going to one of the tour shows as well as discussing the future of the band, as well as more pop culture and NFL discussions, so please stay tuned. Thanks again, and I hope you're doing well.